Well, brand new polling on a key voting block now. According to the Politico George Washington University Battleground poll, Governor Romney now holds a 9-point advantage over President Obama with middle-class families, 53 to 44%. Joining me to discuss it, Leslie Marshall, a syndicated radio talk show host and a Fox News contributor, and Lars Larson, who's a syndicated radio host with Compass Media Networks. So we were told by the mainstream media, Lars, that Governor Romney was having major campaign issues and they were rooted to the middle class and how he couldn't relate to them and so on and so forth. So how do you explain this poll?
Oh, I think it's easy to explain, and I can't wait for Leslie to explain why middle-class voters should like a guy. I just can't wait, because we love Leslie, but watching middle-class incomes, like on my family, Megyn, family incomes, not the incomes of doctors' wives like Leslie, but family incomes have gone down $5,000 under this guy. Unemployment is high. Obamacare was supposed to bring premiums down by $2,500. Instead, they've gone the other direction, $2,500. What exactly is there to love in here for middle-class families? Obamacare itself has 20 different taxes in it. Why would any middle-class family be thankful for a president that took away, for example, flexible spending accounts? There's a few $1,000s. Leslie, what's there to love in that if Romney offers an alternative to what Obama's done to him, and what in the world are we going to see in 4 more years of this kind of nonsense?
You know, Leslie, when you look at the polling, sort of they dug a little deeper and asked sort of what is it that's really upsetting you, and it looks like 45% approve of the job he's doing. It's not considered good when they're below 50 as president. Only 45% approval rating among the middle class. And then the right track, wrong track indicator that so many of these presidential pundit, these analysts tell us matters. 62% of the middle class family said the country is on the wrong track. That obviously could be held, in part against the president.
Well, also today came out that not only in the beginning of this month of September, but at the end of August, consumer confidence is up. And Lars, you know, I'm so happy for you, sweetie, that you could find one poll that showed Mitt Romney ahead of my guy, Barack Obama. But I have to tell you, the thing about polls, and this is why as a Democrat I don't get overly confident about the president leading Mitt Romney in almost every other poll, except for this one, is that a poll is a measure of a person's opinion at that moment in time. What I am wanting to know, and I want to hear Lars's answer to this, is why that middle-class advantage for former Governor Romney doesn't translate into a lead in the swing states, doesn't translate into a lead nationally, and doesn't translate when 3 out of 4 voters say they can't connect with him. Lars?
Leslie's tone is a little sarcastic, but that is in response to your sarcasm and your dismissal of her as a doctor's wife, which I have to say was not appropriate, Lars. She's much more than a doctor's wife. Not that there's anything wrong with being a doctor's wife. Go ahead, Lars.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, I mean, I'm in there with Harry Reid, right, telling lies about Romney's taxes and now throwing Mormonism in. You got to remind him, he's a Mormon, watch out, and this is coming from a Mormon. No, but
we're going to get to that in a
reason
minute,
it isn't... The reason it isn't translating is that there are a lot of blue dog Democrats out there who will vote for anybody who's a Democrat. They're not going to vote for the Republican. But as on the issues, I wonder how many of those people are telling the pollsters they're going to go one direction, but they're going to walk into the voting booth and do what's right for their families. And it's really tough to imagine why the Obama policies for 4 more years are going to be right for families around America. I'm sure, though, that your guy is leading in the food stamp voters poll. I just haven't seen the results.
Well, can I ask you that? But I do want to ask you that, Leslie, because if President Obama is not leading Mitt Romney with the middle class, why does he have a lead? You know, I mean, some of the national polls now are showing it tied up or President Obama ahead by a point or so, but who is spurring him to that lead?
You know, Megyn, it's a very good question. I was researching this morning and trying to connect the dots. But at the end of the day, quite frankly, when you look at Paul Ryan's plan, which Mitt Romney says he agrees with, but not 100%, when you look what Mitt Romney wants to do in the United States as president, and he said wants to run it like he did his company, and when we look at what happened to Massachusetts when he was governor, clearly Mitt Romney's ideas and policies will benefit the rich and the upper class, not the middle class. So I have no idea. I understand frustration with the economy. I understand not being as optimistic about the economy and being angry and wanting to blame the president. I fully understand that. But the alternative is worse for the middle class when they look at the actual numbers.
I'll give you a chance to respond, but I just want to throw this stat out.
Those numbers don't add up.
Lars, because Politico reports that 54% of the total American electorate is made up of these middle class families. Usually their vote is split down the middle. So now they're not this time around.
Well, maybe they're actually listening to the results from Massachusetts, where he took the state from an expected very large deficit to a surplus, where he encouraged job growth in the way that government should by getting out of the way. And the fact is that when the president says we're going to put more people to work on infrastructure, we all know how that translates. We're going to borrow money from China. We're going to hire people for short-term jobs that don't lead to something that's long-term. Leslie, those things do not work. And I think even middle-class voters are looking at this saying this kind of thing does not give us a long-term win.
All right, guys, got to leave it at that. Good debate as always. Leslie and Laura, see you soon.
Thank you, Megyn.